Greetings, sports fans. ASMR Sports back in your business. Controversy struck the channel once again in my latest video, which had nothing to do with sports and everything to do with a pile of cash that some viewers considered flaunting. Dun, dun, dun. I'm laughing at you if you are one of those people because you're a freaking clown. Oh, that's hilarious. It's kind of hilarious. I gotta say, I have to say, it's funny the idea for doing a cash sorting or counting video really came because I had seen that happen at least 2 times on different ASMR channels over the last, I don't know, 3 years or so. And I thought, that would be a good one for this channel, because obviously, I don't know, sports cards and cash I feel like are related. And it seems like, it makes for good thumbnails because, who doesn't like clicking on a picture of money? Like I saw, the first video I saw of basically just like counting cash, it had like a ton of views, and it was like, on a channel that was not that big. So I was like, oh, I gotta do that. And I said that like about a year ago, and then I finally got around to it. And yeah, that was that. So I don't know if your feelings are personally hurt by that video. I don't know what to tell you. You probably are in a bad shape in your life, and that's okay. But I truly hope you find some happiness somewhere. And if it's not on my channel, then God bless. I was gonna say, I had, I think 2, maybe 3 comments, people saying like, basically like it was like the shut up and dribble kind of thing, where they're saying like, stop doing whatever and get back to what they want to see, and whatever, that's fine. It's a free comment section. You can say that. But I was just thinking like, I need to hear from some of my subscribers who went and started their own sports card ASMR channels, because I know there was a couple of them. Was Glenn one of them? I think it was. And I think there was one other. But y'all should, respond to comments like that and say, you should check out my channel if you're looking for some, traditional sports card ASMR. But speaking of traditional sports card ASMR, I've been wanting to open some like football cards lately, but honestly, I've opened like some of the 2023 stuff, Prism and Optic, and honestly, it bores the heck out of me. I'm just not really excited about the class all that much, and they're so costly that it just feels like you're flushing money down the drain when you open any of that stuff. And if you hang on to it, it's got a very good chance of going up in value because of C.J. Stroud or whatever does well. Then the unopened stuff will go up in value. And so like, I don't know, the idea of opening that stuff kind of it sort of goes against all of my instincts, even though sometimes I'm curious enough about a product I haven't opened, to rip into some stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't picked up any new football lately, really. So I don't know. So I don't have any new football. I got a lot of 2019 football that might be fun to go looking for, like Kyler Murray's in, but not that fun. And I've opened all that stuff before, back in 2019, 2020. So not that interesting. So I got this box out. This is a box of just like miscellaneous kind of packs that I've picked up in collections of unopened stuff that I've bought over the years, usually from a dealer friend of mine who I get this kind of stuff from. And there's a fair amount of football in here. Oh, it's funny, I was just noticing there is some 91 Fleer basketball, and people are going nuts right now for 91 Fleer basketball, football, and baseball because it has the Fleer Provisions. Not sure if this actually has it because this is Series 2, but all the Series 1 of all sports from 91 Fleer have Provisions inserts. And I don't know, people are kind of nostalgically interested in those things again, so people are hunting for those 91 Fleer sets, even though that stuff is like some of the junkiest wax of the junk wax era that you can imagine. It's kind of funny how stuff that's, you just thought was absolutely worthless suddenly becomes interesting to people. I'm going to pull out a few football, and we're back. Alright, sorry about that. I had the camera kind of, because it's up high on this box, it's sort of precarious, but it fell. So I'll have to edit that out. Boy, this, I see in here a lone pack of 88 Topps football, which is a fun little set with Bo Jackson rookie cards in it. What else do we got? We got 91 football. I'm going to open that. I feel like there's absolutely nothing in there, but, in that set. Action-packed. This is a 90 Series 2. Let's check that out. Do a 91 series, a 91 score Series 1. And a 90 football. Drop the camera again. Go to the beginning of this. So we got Pro Set Series 191. Fleer 92. I think that's going to be fun. Playoff. We got Bowman. Let's get that Topps in there. So there's the stack. Get this camera back on solid ground. Alright, there you have it. Some cool looking packs. I'm going to pause this for 1 sec, go get a photo of these for the thumbnail. Hang on. Okay, and we're back to crack some vintage football. I really like how the older, Topps, although these are not terribly old, put these in order. The older Topps, really a lot of their sports, I think, actually, pretty much all of them, football, basketball, baseball, or football, baseball, and hockey, they had roughly the same kind of picture on their packs for a long string of years. So there's minor variations in color here, but basically it's the same quarterback picture there, or image, which I think is kind of cool. It's different, but the same. And then in 1992, they ruined it all. Although that's Jerry Rice there, so hard to argue. Maybe we could do these in chronological order, but which do we start with the newest first? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll just kind of do it random, but 90 Fleer Football Premier Edition. Well, of course, in 1990, we were all super hyped on football cards. 89 score, which had a slow start, was popping off and very sought after, valuable. So we all picked up 1990 score. which was a terrible idea because that stuff was printed to the moon and had just about no rookies worth collecting in it. Over time, we've figured that out, but in 1990, we didn't know any better. It's still, I feel, kind of a fun set, just because it's, the follow-up to 89 Score Football, which was a classic set of the 1980s, but Fleer jumped into the football card game in 1990. Well, not really. They jumped into the sort of, Players Association licensed football card game. Fleer had been making football cards for many, many years, even back to the 1970s. You may have seen these cards, but they are not like what you think. They all are basically just pictures of, football plays from kind of far away, so they have lots of players in them. And they have no individual, cards of individual players. So they were kind of like, I don't know what you'd call that, team cards, I guess. That's how they did football cards, because they didn't have I don't think they had the Players Association license in order to put individual players, so they just did, team picture type stuff of plays, in the game, and they did that for many years, but finally in 1990 they decided to get in the game with Score and Tops, and by then it was Pro Set and a few others, Action Packed. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously Fleer was one of the giants of the sports card industry at this time, and football cards were, sort of newly popular. It's funny because it's hard to imagine it if you're a collector today, but what really got people interested in both basketball and football and hockey cards was the fact that after many years of there being the Beckett price guide only for baseball cards, all of a sudden Beckett decided to make price guides for some of these other sports, and they basically set the market. They created the market of interest in I think basketball cards were first, then football, then hockey. But before then, people, I think, felt like, well, these cards aren't worth anything. Nobody can really demonstrate their sort of value in any way objectively. So, no one's going to collect them. Consequently, you could buy boxes of 86 Fleer basketball for like $10, $15, back before the Beckett price guide came out for basketball cards, I think, which was in 1990. Might have been 89. I think it was 90, though. And then all of a sudden, basketball cards just took off. And the same happened with football cards. So back then, this was all happening, in 1990. And with Fleer, a major player, getting into the game, into the sports card game, the football card game, you had a feeling like, oh, this set's going to be pretty sweet. And it's an interesting, kind of classic, simple white border design. But this stuff, yeah, it has been one of the least valuable card sets, along with probably this stuff, like 1990 Score Football and 1991 Score Football. It's been, along with those, one of the least valuable sets, least sought after sets of the junk wax era. But you never know when something, it used to be 1990 Fleer basketball was one of the, most overproduced, under-demanded card sets on Earth. You could buy boxes of that for $10 all day long. I bought boxes of that stuff for like $3 in 2018, I think. There's Hall of Famer Steve Young. And now that stuff is worth, I mean, it's not a ton right now, but in the COVID boom, those boxes were like $800. Those 90 Fleer basketball boxes. Now they're worth, um, unwrapped by BBCE. I think they probably are worth like $80. Wrapped by Baseball Card Exchange, they're worth about 120. FASC, they're probably worth about 60, 70, 80, 180, something like that. Maybe not that much. Well, maybe that much. I want to speak a little bit about Tyrone Braxton because he was actually, I think, one of the first guys, at least of the 80s, to make a name for himself out of North Dakota State University. So he was, for a long time, this was back when North Dakota State, which is, if you don't know, my local football team. I live in Fargo, North Dakota, where North Dakota State is from, and North Dakota State in the last, 10 years has really made a name for itself. They play in a, different, I forget what they call it, sort of division of Division One. So they don't go against like the Bowl Series teams. They play a kind of a different set of Division One teams that are generally considered to be, inferior to the bowl teams. But they, they have been like the top 1 or 2 or 3 team for a run of like, 15 years now. So they're kind of coming to their own. But back when he was playing, back in like the 80s, North Dakota State was a Division II team, and it was not very common for Division II players to make it into the NFL, and he was one of the rare folks who did. So he was kind of well known around these parts where I am. Now it seems like, pretty usual for the quarterback of the NDSU Bison to end up in the NFL as the last, like 3 or so have. Carson Wentz, Easton Stick, and Trey Lance. And the guy they got right now is, I don't know what year he is, but... So that was 1990 Fleer. Let's go with 1990 Topps. Beat up to all heck. I want to speak a little bit too about how, under-desired Topps football cards from the late 80s and early 90s have been for many years. 88 Topps football was really just not appreciated for a very long time. But these days, boxes of this stuff go for, gee whiz, $150, $200. For a long time, they were not, they were like $20, maybe. But people have started to, I think, realize these are becoming rarer and rarer in unopened form. And who doesn't want a Bo Jackson rookie? It's not really worth anything unless it's gem mint. But I don't know. People appreciate these probably more so than other sets from this era. But 89 Topps football was, similarly unappreciated and is, generally a weaker set with more supply out there. So that was worth, next to nothing as well, when these were worth like $20 a box. But now 89 football is, stepping up there in value. I sold a box of 89 football on eBay, about, 3-4 weeks ago, and I think it was like 75 or $80, which, is crazy. Again, those were like the $5 boxes back in 2017, 2018. And I think, 1990 has already started to appreciate in value, but it very well may be, out of reach. I would, actually, I think I just sold a box of this stuff to a friend of mine, and I think it was like, I want to say like, it was either $30 or $40. So, pretty low still. But again, considering how, recently this stuff was worth almost nothing, it's impressive. Alright, Pat's swilling. This design is so weird, but it's so, like, early 90s. Nate Odoms. Shane Conlon. Eric Howard. Reggie Rutland. Jim Jensen. Randall McDaniel. Longtime Vikings player. Harry Hamilton. Cedric Jones. Benny Blades. Drew Hill. Our draft pick is Rodney Hampton. I think Jeff George was the big guy in this. Is Thurman Thomas second year card. Hall of Famer Thurman Thomas second year card, so that's cool. I'm gonna probably pull him out too with my Steve Young. Alright, next let's go into 91 and then we'll save 88 for last. We'll kinda come back. And then let's do the score first. And actually let's do the 90 score first. This is series 2, 1990. I feel like series 2 from this year was substantially worse than series 1. I don't know if back in 1990 that was true, but it's true now that series 2 is definitely less desired. There's Otis Anderson, LT, take him out. Tim Harris, Crunch Crew. Eric Martin, is a draft pick kind of thing. Percy Snow. Well, Cortez Kennedy, is he a Hall of Famer? I feel like he might be. I definitely think he had a pretty solid career. Take him out just in case. Eric Green, Leonard Griffin, Sean Jones, and Jerry Robinson. Okay, let's try this 91 Series 1. So, I bet if you looked really hard and you knew, like a lot of people that had cards, some of which was unopened, I bet if you tried, you could find this stuff for like $10 a box. Like cases of it. And if you did find such a thing, I would think that would be, a pretty decent investment to look back on in 10 years. Although I say that now and I think, for a lot of things I've invested in the last, gosh, so really like 2017 was when I started kind of getting heavily back into cards and putting serious money into, unopened boxes and cases of stuff. A lot of stuff, actually maybe most stuff, I would have been much better off if I just took that money and put it into an index fund in the stock market. Because, gosh, yeah, I haven't really done that now, but like, the market has gone kind of, nuts since that time period, 2017. I mean, that was a long time ago. That was like 6 years ago, right? Or 7 years ago. Very nice, Bo Jackson. So, like, that's a lot of time for stocks to be in a market that's, on the upward trajectory. I mean, when Trump was president, interest rates were low. The market was doing, quite well. I think COVID probably made it sort of go down a little bit, but not a ton. And then, under Biden, it's basically the same thing. I mean, the market's just been kind of pretty steadily marching up the whole time. So, like, basically since 2016, at least, and actually I think like under Obama, the market did quite well as well. In fact, it might have just been George Bush, and George W. Bush, I should say, and the whole kind of 9/11 Iraqi war, Afghanistan situation, where the market took a pretty considerable dip for a number of years. Because before that was Clinton, and of course, that was the dot-com bubble, which did, burst eventually under Will Bush. But yeah, so anyways, my point is the market has gone, pretty significantly upward since 2017. So if I spent $1,000 on, a total market ETF or a mutual fund, at that time I gotta think it would be sitting very pretty right now. Whereas if I put $1,000, like what did I buy in 2017? I do have some like cases of 2017 like top stuff that has Judge rookies, and I have 2017 Topps Series 1 baseball, and I have 2017 Topps update cases. So I actually think I probably bought those in like 2018 or 2019, but let's pretend I bought them in 2017. They're probably worth, I don't know, 6 jumbo boxes. They're worth about 280, like the update series. Let's be generous. We'll call it $300 a box. 6 boxes times 300, so that's $1,800. Those are worth. You would have paid for those things probably about $500 back in 2017. Maybe a little less. Maybe like $400. Hard to believe those jump boxes were like, $50 at one point. So, you turned whatever, let's say $500 into $1,600, and you're like, well, that's a good return. Well, is it though? Because that was a long time ago. That was 7 years ago, right? So, yeah, versus having it sit in a cache or something under your bed, Barry Sanders. It's a good investment, but like I really want to know. And there's calculators, you can do this online. Pat Swelling, we're getting all the Pat Swellings. There are calculators where you can put in, $1,000 into a stock or into whatever, ticker you want to pick, draft pick, at a certain time in the past, and it'll tell you, how much you would have now if you invested X number of dollars that you put in. So I could find that out, and I bet if you put, $500 into a whole market ETF, like VTI or something, VTSMX, back in 2017, that $500 would be worth a lot. Right now, I don't know, I think, could it be 3X? It could be, I don't know. Super Rookie Mark Carrier, that's kind of a cool card. I don't know if I've ever seen that card before. Looks cool, very simple, very understated. I like it. So yeah, but wow, look at this. We're getting Bo Jacksons and everything, and I'm here for it, folks. I hope that means we're going to get a Bo Jackson in our 88, but that's a sweet looking card. Actually, really nicely centered. Pretty sweet. But my point, folks, my overall point really that I want to make is that if the stuff I was doing with sports cards in 2017 was like all I was doing investment wise, I would be a pretty big dummy. Even if I am up right now overall, though, I don't know, it remains to be seen. I have to be up on like all of my sports card purchases, like as a whole. I'm saying not every one of them, certainly many of them are down. But overall, I think everything I've spent on, cards in the last, since 2017, would, show a profit. If I sold it all today, even though the market's down like crazy since 2020. So that's good, but that is not where you want to be. If you're only doing investing in one thing, it should not be sports cards, is my point. Anybody who, talks about investing in sports cards as our gold card, Kenneth Davis, will tell you that. Whether it's Pokemon investing or baseball card investing or anything else. So I only, am comfortable putting the amount of effort and capital into sports cards because it's not something, I am doing other investing that is my main, investing for the future. So, I have, right, like index funds, I have a very small select number of individual stocks. Christian McCoy's got to be in the Hall of Fame. So, all this, effort and stuff and money I've put into sports cards in 2017, I've put much more money, maybe not much more effort, into, just the general stock market since 2017. So, if I'm correct, it's up significantly, and I could certainly find that out, then, I'll be okay even if my sports cards go down to zero, which sometimes I think is probably likely. Gaston Green. These are pretty cool looking cards, I gotta say. Dalton Hilliard, Charles Haley, Williams, or was it like giant patch of white? Looks like an error or something, but I think it's just like part of somebody's jersey. Weird. I can't quite. I don't know. This is like maybe against the Browns, and there's the Browns helmet, and like he's like bent over, and then this is just his jersey, and it's like super bright white because of the lighting or something. All right, so there's that. So last pack here before we get to the coup de grace, the creme de la creme, the cherry on top, if you will. 88 Tops is the 92 Flair Football. Boy, if I ever open 92 Flair Football, I don't know if I have, folks. I really don't. It's kind of funny. Collect Mark Rippon performance highlights. It's hard to believe that Mark Rippon was worth like his own insert set and, like appearance on the packaging. I know he was a well-regarded rookie and actually had a decent career too, but I don't remember him being as big as like Jeff George when he was a rookie, So, and I don't think he was ever on the cover of the packs he was in. Alright, I just was noticing this has provisions in it, so limited edition series, details on the back. What does that mean? The limited edition 12 card marker series randomly inserted, special mark bags. Okay, but I think this is just a normal, run-of-the-mill pack of 92 Flair Football. It's not a special one or anything like that. So it's weird. They make it seem like the latter is the case, but I don't think that's true. So my next video, which I'm probably going to be recording right after this, and then posting sometime later this week, is going to be on a Japanese Pokemon set, which I actually have right next to me, ready to go. So, Paradise Dragona, I think is the name of this set. So those just came out, and I've never opened Japanese Pokemon, and given that I know so little about like Pokemon, and those are all going to be in Japanese, it should be a fun adventure, but I'm looking forward to that actually. So I hope you guys will join for that. Keith Woodside. That's the thing I wanted to mention. Wow, these have like some kind of, well, it's coming off, but like a little black dustiness or something there. Rob Woodson, Hall of Fame for sure. How long might be, can't remember. Prospects, Mike. So yeah, I don't think I've ever opened these 92 Flares. I kind of like them. They kind of remind me of like early 90s Bowman, very simple. Oh yeah, so like I have been thinking of the fact that I haven't done a stream in forever, and I would like to, but I don't know. I don't really like the format that I've been doing them in lately, which is basically just to get online and like wait for people to place orders of stuff like on my site. So I've been noticing a Pokemon YouTuber that I watch does. Oh, that was was going to be an insert, but I mean, it is, but it's one of these Mark Ripien ones. It's open for a Provision. Cornelius Ben and Eric Bieniemy. So that was cool. I really like those cards. The backs are pretty sweet too. Very simple. Very simple. Understated. I like it. So this YouTuber does like he calls it. I've heard this before. Like rip and ship. Basically, people just place orders for stuff while he's streaming. And I know you're saying, wait a minute, that's like just exactly the same as what you said you didn't like. Well, true, except the rip and ship thing is kind of focused around packs. So he'll have like 5 or 6 types of packs that he's opening, and he'll put those on the website, and then people order any combination of those packs, and then so I guess the focus is on packs rather than like boxes, which is normally the focus of stuff that I do live streams on, because that's mostly what I have on my website. But I want to kind of do like featured packs, so I'll do like 5 or 6 packs, and then people can order a mix of them, or they can order just one type of pack, and they can order one pack, or they can order 10 packs or 20 packs, whatever they want. And then as I get orders, I'll rip them on up. And then so the other thing I've been thinking is that the standard shipping charge on my site is like $7.99 or $8, we'll call it. And that makes it hard when people want to like order something small, and then like 10 minutes later they're thinking they want to order something else that's also small, because then they've paid a shipping charge twice, and there's no real easy way for me to kind of credit them for the shipping they paid earlier. I mean, I guess theoretically I could do a refund or something like that after the fact, but that seems too late. I want people to I want there to be, what do they call that? I don't know, I want the market to be fluid. Transaction cost to be low. Friction to be low. So I'm thinking of doing like like a $1 per order shipping charge. Only while I do the stream, or else only applicable to the packs that I'm featuring for one of these rip and ship streams. So, if you order packs, you'll only pay like $1 shipping, which is, substantially less than what it would cost me to actually ship those things. So hopefully you'll do another order and I'll actually have $2 to ship your order. Usually it's about like at least $3 to ship anything first class package. Oh, look at that, it's kind of a Bo Jackson rookie. Ozzie Newsome's probably in the Hall of Fame. So anyways, 20% Hall of Fame. I've been thinking about how to do that, because I gotta figure it out basically on my online store like system, which is Shopify. Michael Layton, let's make sure I didn't miss anybody. Alright, anyway, so that's kind of what I've been thinking about for live stream stuff. And now you know what my next video will be. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope everybody's doing well. And we will see you all next time. Let's take a quick peek at our kind of hits from this classic football extravaganza, which I thought was pretty enjoyable, especially those sets that I hadn't really seen before, or never really opened any of before. That's always a kick for me. A lot of these I have seen before.